The man who's going to start with us today, he's the chairman of Significant International Group and founder of Significant International Training Systems. He has mentored and coached top businesses, executives, insurance consultants, financial advisors, medical practitioners, politicians, ministers of religion, network marketing leaders, and many others. He is Mr. He said he doesn't do titles, but he should call it us today. He is Mr. Ibrahim Kwame Asante. Put your hands together as you welcome Mr. Please speaking on the topic, how to harness your talents to build a lifetime career. Do more for Mr. Ibrahim Kwame.
Thank you very much, Vanessa. And indeed, I don't do titles because you would start calling me Dr. Alhaji, Ambassador, all of which I may be. So simply, Ibrahim Kwame Asante. And in academia, when you're referencing, you don't do titles, do you? It's just Asante IK or IK Asante. So today you are Mr. Tomorrow Doctor, the next day you are Professor. Simply Ibrahim Kwame Asante. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How are we doing today? I cannot feel your excitement. How are we doing today? Brilliant. It is very humbling for me to be standing in front of such august personalities to deliver today on the topic. Can I have the full screen, please? How to harness your talent to build a lifetime career. How to harness your talent to build a lifetime career. Can I move away from am I permitted to move away from the podium? Thank you very much. I have only 15 minutes to do a 3-hour job. Okay, while they are sorting it out, shall we all raise our hands with the index finger up, please? Now let's move it round. And please look at me. Let's all touch our ears. Our ears. Our ears. Touch your ears. Now, what did we do? Majority of us for the first time. Did we touch the ear? What did we do? This shows that people will do what you do, not what you say. So in all the things that we will learn, we need to practice, put to practice what we do, what we say, we need to put it in practice. Because you say touch your ear, whilst you're touching your chin, all your followers will touch their chin. Okay, let's maintain it at a level that we can see. Reduce it a little bit. Let's move on to the outline. I have 15 minutes. Thank you very much. Today, number one, I would like us to look at our mindset. What do we need to look at? Mindset. Number two, to identify the level you want to play at. Do you want to play at survival level, stability level, success level, or significance level? And there are differences. Number three, to learn about the leadership and management practices. Because for you to have a successful career in the 21st century, which is very volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous, you need to learn about leadership and management practices and put it into practice. And last but not least, some of the personal characteristics or traits in order to achieve peak performance. Are we good to go? Okay. These days we use the mobile phone, so I was watching to see who is writing. In our days, we always had to write. Now let's look at the mindset. We always say good or bad, without realizing that we are subconsciously programming ourselves 50% for failure. It is good or good, yes or yes, true or true. Because whatever we think about with our mind, we feel with our hearts. And once our heart feels, our mouth will do what? Say it. And once you say it, you begin to action it. The actions together forms your habits, and the habits becomes your character, and that character will impact the future. Hence the good book says, as a man thinketh, so yes. Let's know the difference between speaking and talking, ladies and gentlemen. They say talk is sheep. In the classroom, when people are making noise, what names do we write? Speakatives or talkatives? Good. In the parliament, where Honorable is, do we have the leader of the parliament? Is he the talker of the parliament or the speaker of parliament? Good. So, in essence, talk connotes negativity when speaking connotes positivity. So ordinarily the mouth talks, but when the heart is filled, then the mouth begins to cease to talk and begins to what? Speak. So our mindset, positive and progressive mindset, very, very important in our career as we go ahead. I have 15 minutes, so I'll quickly go to the next slide. And as I finish, probably questions will bring out things. The next slide, please. What level do you want to play at in this world? You want to be an MP or a legislator? You want to be a teacher, doctor, engineer, entrepreneur? Do you want to play at survival level, stability level, success level, or significance level? And these four levels have its accompanying what to do in order to achieve those results. So if we do easy things, you come to school, get a degree, bachelor's, master's, PhD, whatever it is, and get out there, write a CV, go and look for a job, it's so easy, you just survive. And most people have this low performance attitude and complaining attitude, so they are always in the survival level. The next level is the stability level, where we do difficult things, difficult to do. That is where we have average performance. When you put in just as you expect to get, then you will be at the stability level. The next level is the success level, where you put in the impossible to do. You put in high performance, more than you are required of. We say think outside the box. That is the level. When you think outside the box, the guarantee is that you will be successful. And that shows that you will be performing at your highest level. But the next level which I want to propose to us is to think like there is no box. Did you hear that? Think outside the box results in success. But to think like there is no box, when you become the artist, not the master, I dare to say beyond mastery is artistry. When you become the Michelangelo, you compose your own song. You become the Michelangelo, you become your own David. Thinking like there is no box. I am a product of science, arts, and business. Currently, I work with the CSIR, Council for Scientific and Industrial Research, as the acting deputy CEO for CSIR Technology Development Transfer Center. I also own my training company, Significant International Training System. What stops me from doing that on my weekends? So the mentality of a job for life, or I have a civil service job, so I cannot create other businesses for other people to be employed, should be out of the box. Are you getting my point? And that level is the beyond imagination to do level, the significant level, where you go beyond imagination, where you think like there is no box. So I want us to move from think outside the box to be successful, to think like there is no box, to be significant. Let's move quickly, because of time, to the next slide. Now, let's learn about some of the leadership and management practices that we need to have under our belt in order to be significant in this 21st century. Remember, this century is VUCA, V-U-C-A, volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. Nothing is static, nothing is certain. Everything is really ambiguous. There's no black and white, or black or white. So we need to be agile, we need to be flexible. And the two sides to paddle of the boat is the leadership and management. Ladies and gentlemen, if you focus on your leadership, your boat will go like this. Because you'll be paddling only one side. If you focus on management, your boat will go like that. But if you do leadership and management, your boat will go forward straight. So you need those skills in order to survive, to be stable, to be successful, and most importantly, significant in this century. Next slide, please. Now, when we talk about leadership, most people erroneously look at one person, the leader, the president, the imam, the rabbi, the priest, the reverend. No, leadership is about three things. It's about how many things? One is the leader. What is one? The leader. Two is the followers. Two is what? And three is the context. So, for example, if you're in the church, regardless of your status, honorable, president, whoever, who is the leader in the church? The pastor, because the context is the religious circle. Now, the moment we finish the church or the mosque or in the synagogue and we stand outside, if you are in the honorable constituency, who will be the leader? Because the context has changed. So when the context changes, leadership, or the leader, can change. So leadership is dynamic. It's not about one person all the time. Let us have that in mind. So when you say the leadership is bad, then you mean the leader, the followers, and the context. Next slide, please. I should be done in the next 5-10 minutes. Now, ladies and gentlemen, there are some key functions of a leader that you need to imbibe at this stage. They say train a child the way he should go, and when he's old, he will never depart from it. If the seed is not the best seed, regardless of the excellent soil you plant it in, you will not have a good tree. So the seed, the quality of the seed must be brilliant. Now, one key quality or function of a leader is to provide what? Provide what? Vision. And what is vision? We look with the eyes, but we see with the mind. Did you get that? We look with the eyes, but we see with the mind. That is why, with all due respect to people with challenges with their sight, when a blind man or woman agrees with you in a statement, he or she says, "Oh, I know what? I see." They are physically blind, but mentally not blind, they are sighted. So vision is not about your eye, it is about your mind. That is why I began with the mindset. Because when the mind or the thoughts are corrupted, then the heart will be corrupted, the speech will be corrupted, the actions will be corrupted, the habit will be corrupted, the character will be corrupted, and the future will be corrupted. But when they are correct, then your heart will be filled with the positive and progressive thoughts, your mouth will be speaking the positive and progressive stuff, your actions will tilt towards that direction, your habits cumulatively will be positive, your character will be positive, and the future will be positive. The second thing is, a leader, one key function is to facilitate understanding of the mission. Why are you here on earth? The day you find your purpose is the day you begin to become significant. Did you hear that? Yes. I asked myself, Ibrahim, what is your purpose? My purpose is to increase other people's capacity to grow. Sometimes you may not have the stuff to give the person, but if you can increase their capacity, there's nothing so frustrating than to have a 1 terabyte information to give someone who is only having 32 gig. Are you getting it? So one of my purposes is to increase people's capacity to grow. So that when the right person, when I finish my speech, one of the guest speakers may be giving you that stuff you need. But because I've increased your capacity to grow, you can receive it. Does that make sense? Yes. Another purpose I have is to illuminate the path. I may not necessarily show you the way, but when I can shine the light on the path for you, you can navigate your way. And the last one, I would say, to inspire others to grow. So I use the rule of 3. And in communication, if you use the rule of three, you'll always be a winner. Politicians have used it. Obama, what made him win? 3 words. What was it? Yes, we can. Nike moved from 500 million to billions by using 3 words. Just do it. We call it the rule of three in communication. That is why when you send some of us a letter or you type a WhatsApp and it's more than 3 paragraphs, we may not read it. You see some of the people, they write and you see read more. Busy people will skip it. When they write the letter, introduction, go to the meat, conclusion, what next? The rule of three. Let's move ahead. The next key function of a leader is to do what? Solve problems. I like to use the word challenges instead of problems because problems connote negativity, but challenge connotes positivity and the ability for us to overcome. So you need to start having that spirit of solving issues. Remember, complainers don't create and creators don't complain. So if you want to have a successful and significant lifelong career, you should desist from complaining. Let me give you an example. You see the elephant, sorry, not the elephant, the lizard, the wall game. Do you know the food of the lizard? 80% of the food of the lizard flies. The fly, they eat it, that fly. Now, let's ask ourselves the question. Has the lizard got wings to fly? No. Yet its food flies. So how is it going to feed? Oh God, look at me. You created me without wings. My food fly. Did you hear the lizard complain? No, it strategizes. It thinks. Napoleon Hill, written the book Think and Grow Rich. Get the book and read if you want to be a good entrepreneur. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And then The Richest Man in Babylon. It's also a very good book. Read. I read a book every week. So in the year, 52 books. Look, let me be frank with you. In any discipline, if you can read 20, 30 books, you become an expert. Those days when I tried with accountancy, ACCA, how many books? How many papers? 12. So 12 books, if you master it, you are an accountant. Law, ask any profession, medicine, anatomy, physiology, biochemistry, drug, the books are not more than 30. So if you read, you become a leader. That's why they say readers are leaders and leaders are readers. Now this lizard never complains. What does it do? It strategizes. It thinks of what does my food want? Most of the flies want dead carcasses and meat. So what do? It feels dead. It pretends to be dead. Right? And then you see the flies will come around testing to see if it is really dead. And it will just stay quiet. So most of the time, what you need to do is to be like a duck on water. Ducks on water, on the surface of the water are very calm, but beneath the surface, they are paddling so hard. But also don't be like a flying duck. Ducks, when they fly, they make a lot of noise. Be like the eagle, that source. So I'm not going to say be like a duck. No, it depends. Be like a duck on the surface of water, very quiet on the top. But beneath, you are kicking very hard. But also, don't be like the duck that is flying, making noise. Keep quiet, get yourself to work, and achieve your goals. Mission, what is the mission? The lizard now wants to catch the fly. So it keeps quiet, it strategizes, it calculates, it waits for the fly to be within range of capture. And then swiftly, it catches the fly. Now here is the lizard who never complains, but gets results. So complainers don't create. If you take the attitude of complaining to work, no employer will enjoy having you there. If you take the attitude of complaining to whatever area, no one will enjoy your company. But if you bring the issues up and you start with solutions that can help with the issue, then yes, everybody will love your company because you are positive. You point out the issues, but you don't complain. You help us to find results. The mission, why are you there? Why are you in school? Know why you are here. Why are you at your job? I mean, whichever job you are being given or whichever business you are in, most of us miss it. our purpose, the mission. And that is why people who follow us do not sub. In English language, sub means to come under. That is why submarine come under water. Submission means to come under a mission. So if you have no mission, then the people that follow you will not come under any mission. And this happens a lot in relationships, in marriages. You see men complain, she's not submissive. The first question I ask is, what is your mission? The next is to grow more leaders. You should not. I was lecturing in the University of Southampton in the UK, and one person asked me, "Right, I want to be like you." And I said, "Like me? Don't be like me. Be better than me." He says, "Why? In real life, no one wants you to be better than them." But let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, your peers in school, your peers at home, even your siblings, if you can enable them, help them to be better than you will be the best. Why? Because if our children don't become better than us, and we don't become better than our parents, then there is no progress. I have never seen any excellent parent who is this year will attest to that. So wish your friends, your neighbors, your colleagues very well, enable them to achieve their goal. Remember to grow more leaders. The last but not the least is improve whichever organization you are in the culture. Look for gaps. Don't complain. Fill it. Let's move on quickly to the next slide. Quickly. Some of the leadership practices, these slides will be available to you, so please, because of time, I don't want to take too much time. Some of these practices, or all these 4 practices, you need to look at. The first one is scanning. Always scan your environment. Look out for the opportunities. The SWOT analysis, their strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Look at what is there. Scan deep and scan wide. I always say use the African mindset, the African telescope, the African endoscope to see deep, the African microscope to see big. Because I want you to, first of all, think as an African, of a human being, an African in moving forward. Yesterday in the news, I heard some people say if we put a plane there and ask the youth to go to Ukraine and fight, and we are paying them $200,000, you will see the number of people going who would, offer themselves to go and fight. And I was like, God have mercy. Why don't you believe in yourself as an African? How many of us here want to go to abroad? Let's be honest. The MPs here might be able to help you. You see, you all want to run away to abroad, isn't it? I like that. What do the MP want to do to run away? You all want to go to abroad, isn't it? Why? Any reason? Let's be honest, any reason? Am I nice? Pardon my bad. Why do you want to go abroad? How many of us wish we had other nationalities? Like you are an American, you are... Let me diffuse that. No matter the color of your passport, it is not your nationality, but the value you bring to the table that matters. Kofi Annan was a Ghanaian, but because of the value he brought to the table, he became the UN Secretary General. He was still a Ghanaian. He could have chosen to take after the nationality of the wife, who was a Ghanaian. Kwame Nkrumah remained a Ghanaian. The wife was Egyptian. Hello? I still remain a Ghanaian. True. After over 20 years living in the UK, I still remain a Ghanaian. Why I carry my Ghana passport? Because you can never be somebody, you can be British but not English. Do you understand that? You are born at everywhere or anywhere, a Fanti, a Frafra. You can come from Cote d'Ivoire to be a Ghanaian, but you can never be anywhere. Can you be? Think about that. Focus. Focus on what makes you different from others. Align and mobilize. In your life, whatever you do, you need resources. You need what? Resources. And the most important resource is other human beings. It's not about money. So learn how to align and mobilize those resources and then inspire. So with the leadership practices that you need to look at very carefully, please look Number one at what? Scanning. Always be scanning. Look for opportunities. Every day I do 1 hour walk. And when I'm walking, I'm looking for opportunities. You may see some building, you may see some property, you may see something around your area you have never seen. Look for opportunities. Focus. Align and mobilize resources. And then inspire. Let's look at management practices, 4 of them. The first one is, the next slide please. Okay, before the management practices, these are required. The science and arts, logic and intuition, rules and judgments. Next slide please. So that we can bring it to close in 3 minutes. Planning. I say proper preparation promotes peak performance. Proper preparation promotes peak performance. Please plan and plan and plan and replan. The next is organizing. Structure determines what? Behavior. If you put the right structures in place, it will determine our behavior. Look at Made4More'. You put little tables, side tables for us. It has influenced our behavior. I want to put my water on the floor. Where would I put it? On the table. Because you put the structures in place. So whenever you realize that the behavior of the people or wherever you are is going one way, you want to influence it, would help to put the right structures in place. It could be rules, it could be regulations, it could be physical structures. But learn about that, and that will help your career as you move along. The next one is what? Implementing. Most of us, we talk. In leadership, we have 2 types. We call it the poetry and then the plumbing. The poetry is, some people are very good orators. They can speak for you to even fall down and let them walk over you. But when it comes to action, let us do the work. The plumbing side, where we have to roll our sleeves, forget it. They can't do anything. Remember, you need both the leadership and the management so that you both goes forward straight. The last but not the least is monitoring and evaluation. Monitoring is day to day. Check where you are coming from, where you are going on a day-to-day basis. Evaluation is over a period of time. So in the 1 week, look at the trends and then please advise yourself. Remember, we are in a volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous world. You need agility, you need flexibility. You don't need to be rigid. You need to be able to adjust yourself to achieve the goals. Quickly, these are the 5 characteristics I want you to please pay attention to for you to have a significant lifelong career as you move along. Number 1 is what? What is number 1? Personal mastery. Do things so well. Become the artist of it, not just the master. Because beyond mastery is artistry. Number 2 is what? Mental model. Have the open-mindedness. You see, so many people are so suspicious about everything that goes around them. If you fall into that trap, no matter what position we give you, where we put you, you will end up not becoming successful and ultimately significant. Have a free mind, remove all suspicions, and think global, but act what? Locally. And let me give you an example. And at that point as well, please remember to volunteer. Remember to do what? Volunteer. One of my mentors told me that, Ibrahim, value determines price. Did you hear that? Value determines price. So we will pay you according to your value. Someone will speak for 30 minutes, will be paid $100,000. Someone will speak the whole day, will pay $100. What's the difference? The value. So when you have this sort of mental model of giving to others, volunteering, you build up what we call experience through all the good, the bad, the ugly that you will come across. I am an alumni of ISEC, which is International Association of Students in Economics and Management. Then when we were in school, let's write a proposal. I don't know how to write a proposal. So what do? I go to my seniors, please show me how to write it. I'll do some drafts, they'll throw it out, they'll say this way, oh, we want somebody to type this. I'll go and do it. We want somebody to accompany the president to go to this meeting. I will be there. We want someone to take minutes. These are things you need to volunteer for. Don't always think about money. A time came when they needed someone to represent students in Paris. at the UNESCO Expert Workshop on the Youth Sustainable Consumption and Lifestyle in 2001. They needed someone who had done X, Y, Z, but the volunteering came to play, and guess who was there? Ibrahim was sent there. But that came about as a result of sacrifice. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want a chicken soup, a chicken must die. You want a fish stew, a fish must die. No pain? No pain. So, look at the third point, which is systems thinking. Whatever you do affects everybody. Remember that. As you go along, whatever you do affects your family. If you bring your family's name into disrepute, it will affect even your sibling. So please, have good name and do the right things. Have system thinking. Don't think, oh, I am in ATU, and if I do this, nothing will happen. The media will report it as a student of an technical university has, God forbid, raped a child. So if I am also a student of ATU, how did you affected me? So you should have the system thinking mindset as you go along. Whatever organization you belong to, remember, whatever you do affects everybody. Last but not the least, have shared vision. I believe you are the leaders of today. We used to say we are the leaders of tomorrow. Go to other countries. The youth, 16, 18, 21, they are doing marvelously well. So let us stop thinking outside the box by saying leaders of tomorrow, and let's start thinking like there's no box. We are the leaders of what? Today, and begin to put in action. Quickly run through the rest and we bring it to a close. We have something on improving organizational climate, talking about the tone. The next slide, I will speak briefly about it, comparing two organizations. Now, please tell me, if you have one organization where there is suspicion, jealousy, arrogance, unproductive competition, lack of transparency, and another organization where we have high trust, teamwork, transparency, goodwill, which one would you want to belong to? The other one. So please imbibe those characters or those habits and traits as you move along. Next. Balance resources practice is very important. These slides will be available to you. Let's move to the next. And always do your SWOT analysis. The strengths always telling us about your strong areas, the weaknesses where you need to improve on, the opportunities which are the good areas, and then the threats, things that can hinder you, so you reduce it. Does that make sense? Okay, next. The last slide for us today, make what? The difference. It's not make a difference. Make what? The difference. And how do we make a difference? Let us solve challenges. Let us reduce other people's stresses and workload. Let us get ourselves recognized as experts. Ladies and gentlemen, the difference between an amateur and an expert or a professional is that professionals get paid, amateurs don't get paid. Did you hear that? If I go play football with my two sons in my backyard, will you pay to come and watch? But if Ronaldo, Messi is playing, will we pay to watch? Why? Because they are professionals. And who is a professional? A professional is someone who can guarantee results without being monitored or pushed around. So if you, in your journey or your career journey, you can guarantee results, be there at this time, you are there at that time, deliver at that time, deliver, the reports are ready, quarter report. You can do that, you can guarantee results. Then you can get paid. Two people can be employed at the same time, the same grade, the same rank, but one could be elevated quicker than the other. Why? Because of professionalism. Why? Because they may guarantee results without maybe being supervised, monitored, or pushed, whereas the other does not. Ladies and gentlemen, I will leave you with the 4 levels. Please think about it. Where do you want to play? Survival, by doing easy to do things. Stability, by doing difficult things. Successful, by doing the impossible. Or significance, by doing the beyond imagination things. Behave like the duck on the water, very quiet up, keep kicking and working hard beneath. Not like the duck flying, making noise, but like the eagle. And on that note, I will say, I believe in you, and you've got to believe in yourself. Be like the lion as well. But my logo is the lion with 2 eagles. And the head, it means leadership, 360 degrees. Do you know that the lion is not the tallest animal? The giraffe is taller. It's not the fastest, the cheetah is faster. It's not the biggest, the elephant is bigger. It's not even the heaviest, the hippopotamus is heavier. Yet, it is called the king of the air. And it does not even live in the jungle. Do you know lions don't live in jungles? They live in savannah. Jungles are forests. So how come an animal which does not even live in a kingdom becomes the king of the kingdom? Its attitude. It walks like a king, roused like a king. It has the positive mindset that even if I see an elephant, that elephant will be my meal. And by so doing, it conquers the biggest, the strongest, the tallest, the fattest, and whatever animal that you can think of. Be like the lion. God bless you.